micro irrigation, and then wastewater management. 3 PG diploma we are related to engineering, and others regarding your
We don't need a postgraduate diploma. We need a technician level actually. That's okay.
That sir in university, but because diploma creates problem. Those students, and I don't think that is under our act also, because we are not close to that level of education. That has.
It can be certificate type of course.
Yes, certificate type of the course we can do some few months, 3 months, 6 months, but we had a very bad experience in one of the courses. They started this certificate courses. The fellow went to court कि साहब हमें नौकरी दीजिए, आप नौकरी हमें नहीं दे रहे हैं, तो वो प्रॉब्लम हो गई. तो उसके बाद लोग थोड़ा सा उस मामले में जो बाकी मेंबर्स हैं फैकल्टी मेंबर उसको अवॉइड कर रहे हैं. नहीं, गारंटी तो किसी को नहीं दे सकते, लेकिन वो उनकी न्यूसेंस वैल्यू ज्यादा हो जाती है ना.
आपके यहाँ तो वैसे डिग्री सब्जेक्ट के साथ साथ हर एक को पॉलिटिकल साइंस में तो नहीं हिस्टोरिक आपने चेंज किया है आदमी ने Sir, what theoretically said about the survey course, but in Gujarat we have a very good experience of this. Long back, Dr. Asif Vaishnav was vice chancellor of our team. At that time, he started about 26 certificate courses of the KNB. Of them, 3 courses particularly on micro irrigation system, artificial insemination, seed production. Those programs we could operate very much wonderfully and very much interested candidates were there. I remember in a micro irrigation system, approximately 54 boys, 10 boys were trained, and many of them either they have started their own entrepreneurship or they have been engaged as a field level technician by the MA device industry. So that way the certificate program of 10 to 15 weeks, certainly it can meet our requirement. This is the we also need from Jora, we also got that Kharagpur, and they have become entrepreneurs by their own now. Slowly they started greenhouse, exactly, fabrication part. And this greenhouse operators training program was under Ministry of Kaushal Vikas.
नहीं, हम
entrepreneur and service providers.
कौशल विकास में तो हम करवा रहे हैं कौशल विकास में, तो वो अलग चीज है. लेकिन इसमें थोड़ा सा ये लगता है अगर हम अपने लेवल पे करेंगे ना, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्रियल बेस तो 0 है ऑलमोस्ट यहाँ पे. हर आदमी जॉब के पीछे भागता है, तो उसी से पहले वही कहेगा तो आप जॉब को लेके प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो जाएगी.
गुजरात का सब इंडस्ट्रीज में बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा है, जरूरत नहीं.
हमारे पास वो ठीक नहीं है, और यही हमारा सबसे बड़ा इशू है.
They are actually offering food processing and farm mechanization after class 10.
अच्छा,
भाई लोग का तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है यार.
Small issue in linking to YouTube, trying to fix it. I think I'll keep trying it, but let the program start. Dear friends, welcome for the webinar 2 series. We opened a new area now. That's land and water management area. Before that, we had started with first biogas, bioenergy. Then we had a couple of presentations on solar energy, very interesting topic. Then we also had a couple of presentations on water. Water means irrigation, the micro irrigation. Today also we are going to have about water management as well as also micro irrigation. These both we are going to have today also. So we have two speakers from IIT Kharagpur, and he has served for 39 years in ICAR, and he has got several personal awards to his credit, and he is a fellow of Academy of Agricultural Sciences, the Rafi Ahmad Kipi Award, Swatantara Nayak Award, like so many, because he has got out 12 Best Paper Awards by various institutions. He has got 142 research papers and 15 books published, 205, I think well known. I have
Giving such a nice introduction is all because of my colleagues, my friends, my juniors, seniors, that whatever I could learn and try to evolve the things as it went off. Major work of area was water harvesting. Later on, I came in the groundwater management very late, only in this decade. And main was when we, as Dr. Manoj told, when we were working together at Muzaffarnagar. So when we talk of aquifer, we all talk aquifer in terms of equations. Most of the people get how you are going to do about the aquifer. You will talk about the differential equation, deal with the flow through porous media and well hydraulics. But today I will not be talking about those equations, solving few differential equations and all that. I will be talking about aquifer in a totally layman language. What a layman thinks of an aquifer. For him, it is a storage of water from where he can pump at his will if he has got a water extraction equipment, whether powered by diesel, powered by electricity or powered by solar. And we define it in different way. We define an aquifer, it is unconfined, confined, purged, or some few other names. So, when a person, a layman is interested talking about the aquifer, he is only interested in that whether he can get a reliable water supply for his household or for his farm. He is very little bothered about the wastage of this irrigation water. Most of the time we talk about wasting the irrigation, wasting this wastage, reducing the wastage. In terms of पैसे बढ़ा देते हैं, if the price becomes more, it will make the less wastage. But as we all know that this consumer, whether be it a urban dweller or be it a farmer, he will arm twist the whole system through the vote bank strength which is available to him in a democracy. He is not interested, maybe even least interested, in recharging his aquifer, as he feels that it is his property, whatever is down the earth, it is his property, it is his will, he can pump it as much as want. He will push for augmenting his water supply from river flowing even from the far off places. We can see all over the country the situation in the Karnataka, it is the Kaveri water which is being diverted to the major areas. In Delhi, it is not only the Yamuna but from the Ganga, and that also far off from the Tehri. We are doing by pipes and canals, and we never bother about till now we are not bothering, now the things have been changed. That what is the right of the people who are basically the user of that water, or what is the ecosystem requirement of environmental requirement of that water. We are not bothered, but only thing we think of that this particular area needs water and we have to send it. The same is happening with the tankers. The tanker industry has grown like anything. They are pumping the water from the nearby villages and supply it to the high-rise buildings. And in my opinion, this works pay Peter and rob the Peter and pay to the Paul. Now, so let us have a different view for aquifer. Can we treat aquifer as a bank account in which deposit has been made by our ancestors? This ancestor word I am using because if I remember few years back there was a very news with a glee that we have found aquifer near Ghaziabad which is at the depth of 3000 meter, 3000 feet, and that is a very good quality water. But that water was never deposited by us, it was deposited by ancestor. We don't know up to at what time that water reached to that depth. So now if you treat as a bank account in which we are withdrawing the money every year, every time, and then depositing the money in that. Now if we are withdrawing more money and depositing less, what will happen? The account will deplete. So if we are, there are three conditions which we can think of. Either go on withdrawing that money from the account and keep on spending. That's like selling the family silver to run your daily account, daily expenditure. Or we increase the efficiency, reduce our expenditure by increasing the efficiency, or increase our income so that we deposit more and it balances with our expenditure. Now, we have to treat the aquifer in the same fashion, and that's why I have used the water positive word. That no, the balance should always remain in the positive. Now, how to do it? Let us start with first thing, that reduce use of water by enhancing the efficiency. But there we don't have any incentive for any urban dweller that you use it more efficiently. Efficiently, you will have to pay less, or you will get a more reliable water supply. Because the problem is that if X is doing it and his neighbor is not doing it, but both will get the same benefit. So it's not that the his neighbor gets incentive, since both will either get incentive or not get incentive, so X feels he is being de-incentivized. Why? And so since he stops doing that. Once I was talking to a group in the seminar organized by CII, and I said, if you just think that how the water is being used in the toilets, most of the time flushing is done only after someone goes for the urination. Now we don't have such design of our toilet, our system, that if one has used only for the urination, the water required, the flushing is done only by some 250 ml of the water or the 500 ml of the water. The water used is same whether you go for the urination or you go for the latrine. So, but that will require more investment by the user, and he has got no incentive to spend another 1,000 rupees to make it a double chambered. So we have to see how we can increase the efficiency. Similar for the farmer. Now the farmers are using this flexible pipes, or even these pipes, mainly underground pipes, which we found very useful when we were working for the Muzaffarnagar, that no farmer is very much interested in using those underground pipes. They immediately went agog with that they have got additional land available after demolishing their open channels. So we have to essentialize that they increase the efficiency. Second is increase the recharge, and third is use wastewater. Now I calculated just that if and there is a why we can't make it one administrative unit, whether be it a village or be it a block or be it a small town, that no, you will be able to use only that much water what you produce. If you are not using it properly, you will be getting only this much water. Now it is up to you, you use it efficiently or just be an inefficient user and get the less amount of water. I just calculated that with a population density of 5,000 per square kilometer has got 5 lakhs population. Then its average expenditure, in which I have gone a bit higher side, will be anything between 80 crore to 100 crore liters annually. Now, how much is charged a 100 square kilometer will do? I made a small calculation and that comes on about it is recharge, natural recharge is just 10 crore liters. It creates around, if it is using 100 crore liter of the water, it will be producing around 50 crore liter of the wastewater. How much rainfall it is getting? Suppose it is getting an 800 millimeter rainfall, so it is getting around 80 crore liter of the rainfall. With a city having 60% paved area, it will get around 40 crore liter, 50 crore liter runoff every year. How much we are recharging? Artificial recharge. If we recharge even 50% of that, 60%, it comes around about 30 crore of liters. And rest, and then about the 50 crore of the wastewater. So we can easily do it that this 50 wastewater, a part of it, let it be used, so we are reducing the use on that side. We increase the efficiency, we will be reducing again there. And the rest wastewater, if we treat it, filter it properly and transport it to the nearby villages, where it will be taken very nicely by the people because they will be getting a nutrient-rich water. So, then you take out the good quality groundwater from that village. Let us make it a barter that no, you provide treated wastewater to the village for the irrigation, then only you will be getting good quality groundwater from there or even the water from their rivers. Why? We, every urban area, should get take out all the water because they have got the money and without using this. So my idea is now, what my team is working on it, to develop recharge structures, which we have developed one very good recharge structure where we are filtering it and recharging it. Recharging the groundwater, we are getting at present around 6 liters per second, but we are planning to increase its capacity to the 20 liters per second easily by making it more inlet water more. Then we have developed the filter for the wastewater treatment, and that wastewater treatment we are doing not only the pumping it, but also in the in situ also we are developing that technology. And then micro irrigation, which Dr. Tiwari will be talking about after that. Micro irrigation is another. So combining these three, I am telling that if we go to a village, irrigate the whole village, utilize all the wastewater which is coming from there and make it a water positive. Can we make it? This is all what I wanted to talk, because this is an area which I feel we agriculture engineers have got a future in investing in both our research efforts, both our teaching efforts. As I was talking that we are planning even for a PG diploma in the wastewater management, not only the wastewater will be a part of it. Can we go on increasing the wastewater use and make a policy? But I am more interested in making a policy where any administrative unit, be it a village, be it a block, be it a district, be it a municipality, that will have to be water positive. You can't withdraw water more than what you are having. As I said, in a bank account, you just can't survive by selling the family silver because that will never be sustainable. So what I am thinking, that let us talk about this, that no, we will be using water in such a fashion so that whatever we are recharging, whatever rainfall we are getting, that will be recharged, part of it will be recharged totally. Our recharge systems have to be, now the problem will come up in mainly recharge. Let me talk a bit about the recharge structure. A good number, we got some systems designed where we had sand and pebbles, stones and all that. And what was reported that every year that has to be cleaned. I talk like this, that if we have to clean it every year, do you think that it will become sustainable? They said it is just 9 cubic meter of the material. I told them, have you any idea how much 9 cubic meter means? I told one truckload of sand which comes to us is just 6 cubic meter. That means it is almost 1.5 truckload of the material of the sand or of the gravel combined. So when you are combining sand and gravel 1 ton, 1.5 truckload, you have to take it out from that pit, put the water over it to wash it all the silt which has been deposited, and again refill that pit. I doubt that any farmer is going to do that. And we have to be very careful that how this water which we are recharging should not have any impurity. Its turbidity should be within the limit, so that because if we send the turbid water inside the aquifer, it is going to choke it. So we have to design the filters, whether filters be of any type, but it has to be filtered properly. Last year when the monsoon, I saw one well in the Haryana, they had opened the well and the whole water of the field was going in the aquifer, so that he was very happy. If some channels run it, what a good nice way of recharging the aquifer. But then where you are sending turbid water along with all the impurities of the fertilizer, pesticide in the aquifer. So we have to be very careful that what sort of the recharge structure we are designing and how it is recharging. Similarly for the wastewater, how much wastewater, where to use it. Now we are doing another one. I will like to share my experience. I said how to do it in our own campus. I will just like I was just missing that. I did this for my campus. I asked my engineers how much water we are using, how much it is being recharged, how much we are using for the domestic purpose, how much we are using for the irrigation. He came out, he told, sir, we are using 228 hectare meter of the water annually. This much is the water which we are pumping. Out of which 110 crore liter, I said I think 228 crore liter, 110 crore liter we are using for our domestic purpose and 118 crore liter coming as our irrigation. How much we are recharging? We are recharging just 120 crore liter. That means every year we are withdrawing 100 crore liter, 110 crore liter more almost from the aquifer. That was I was talking about that family silver. So now we are planning that now we will be recycling our new area which we are going to bring under the irrigation. That has to be from the wastewater. One of the reasons the wastewater contains such area which we don't want to come in the food chain. I told, and there was a pressure on me to have the fodder seed production, especially the fodder grasses. I said, suppose we irrigate, let us study this. Suppose we irrigate fodder grasses for the seed production by this wastewater. Whatever the wastewater, the heavy metal, let us test, will get deposited in the seeds of the fodder, but the harvest index of the forest, this fodder grasses will be too low. So very little amount will get in the seed. Now, if we use this seed for the fodder production next year, what will happen? A very little that will got is spread over the whole biomass. And but the first year where we are using state wastewater, we will not be using that fodder for the consumption of the animals. We will instead send it to this your vermicomposting. Use that water for the recycling wherever possible, and then border it for the good quality groundwater by reducing the irrigation requirement of the village. So we are getting a village irrigated, we are getting the groundwater, good quality groundwater for the municipality. We have to combine this business together, both intertwined. Not that a municipality wants the water, so go on bringing the water from the outside and never bother about the recharge. Let the municipality know that if they are spending 100 crore liters, they have to recycle a part, at least 60% of their wastewater, and they have to recharge the water, whatever there was, so, and that will also reduce the water logging. What we are working on it in Bihar, in our North Bihar, which is very prone to the water logging, that if we are able to send this water in the aquifer, we will be able to reduce a bit of water logging also from the area of the villages. So we are working on this. We hope to come out with this data. I have not been talking about any equation, any Dr. Ismail had sent me a message, if you have got any presentation to do. I said, no, I will be talking mainly extempore. A few things I might have been missing, but what that was my feeling, that if we want our water scenario to remain sustainable, stable, we have to do so that our each unit remain water positive. So I will try to end it here, and I will be happy to receive the questions if any. I tried to talk to the this your town development minister who belongs to the nearby district, which is most prone. That town is most prone to the water logging. I always try to avoid during the monsoon month to that town because that is the problem. It has to be a citizen movement, not by the politicians.
The students are the best people to start their history of food.
Oh, I am trying to start with one village that I have already sanctioned, in the process of sanctioning a project of few lakhs, so that we will start with a village, make it a water positive, and another water positive is I am going to make my campus. The campus is 1200 acres big, so it is big campus, not a small one, 1200 acres. So I want to make it totally water positive. We hope that in a year or so we will be able to do that. Although you will see, sir, even in this campus, I am facing resistance. अरे साहब, अब पानी के लिए भी पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. मैंने कहा जो पानी जो लोग अपना लॉन इरिगेट करते हैं, जिनके जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर रहते हैं टावर्स में, या जिनके पास बंगले हैं, अगर आपने पानी वैसे आपके यहाँ पानी बहता हुआ पाया गया तो आपके ऊपर फाइन कर दिया जाएगा. And I found there was a huge murmuring in the whole campus कि साहब अब पानी के लिए भी पैसे देने पड़ेंगे, पानी के लिए भी जुर्माना देना पड़ेगा. So if that can be a condition in a university campus, I don't know what will happen when you go for a totally diverse population.
Now your curriculum requires the students to be in village for up to 6 months and all
Yeah.
kind of flexibility here.
Yes, sir.
You have these as a projects and that means students, but I think there will be one question. No?
Yes, that we are thinking over it, that how we can involve the students in our wastewater management. In one waste management we are involved in. In waste management, I will like to inform colleague that there are two major temples nearby. One is Baba Dham, that is Devghar temple, well known to most of us, and another is one temple in the nearby town of Muzaffarpur. we are collecting in both places. Both are the Lord Shiva temple. So a lot of flowers, बेलपत्र और put up offered every day. तो हमने क्या किया, हम उसको डेली कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. We have put up. So what we have done, we have put up one e-cart. On e-cart, the flowers, all the floral offerings are loaded every day.
Wait a minute. I think I will just mute all of them and I can do it. Viplav, I'm muting. Dr. Srivastava, can you unmute your...
Okay.
Can you unmute your...
Yeah, I have unmuted. Yeah.
Thank you. Now you can speak.
Yeah, in the what Dr. G. Singh was asking, in that what we are doing, not only the wastewater, but also the total waste. So the one thing which we have started is, one is we are doing for our campus, in which all the waste, household waste of the campus is collected in the cart every day by the people. It goes to our vermicompost unit, it is being vermicomposted. And that vermicompost. Now we started that why not use the floral offering of the temples. So two temples, Lord Shiva temples, one is in the Baba Dham, Devghar, that's about away from here. So we took help of the local KBK and the temple administration. So whatever is floral offering is there, सारा का सारा e-cart में कलेक्ट करके और उसके बाद से वो चला जाता है KBK को, that is about 10 km away from there, and there it is vermicomposted. Similar we did for that temple which is in the nearby town Muzaffarpur, that also a big temple. Daily we send one e-cart, collect it, all the offering, bring it at our place and then get it vermicomposted. And with that we are earning a revenue of 1 lakh rupees per month. We are spending only 400 rupees for the person who is going daily and bringing sensitive e-cart, so we don't have any fuel expenditure. So this is one way also. Even the people of the Muzaffarpur, the ward councillor were after me कि साहब आप हमारे यहाँ से कूड़ा कलेक्ट कर लीजिए. मैंने कहा भाई आपका कूड़ा कलेक्ट करना हमारा वो नहीं है. हमें मंदिर से था कि मंदिर में जो होता है, हम सुबह बहुत अच्छे से पवित्र मन से जाके ऑफर करके आते हैं फूल पत्ती, और शाम को कूड़े का ढेर बन के आप उठा के उसे रोड के किनारे फेंकवा देते हैं. उससे बेहतर है कि हम खुद ले जाएंगे, हम वर्मी कंपोस्ट करेंगे. और मैंने पाया दैट इज नॉट ए घाटे का सौदा, आराम वी आर अर्निंग द रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम इट. So similar, I am planning that we are even planning one project we have got. We are doing it for a village level, that all the village waste, including the cow dung, will be collected, converted in the vermicompost, and we are linking with the Ujjwala Yojana, so that in the Ujjwala Yojana they got the cylinder, but later on they are not refilling it properly, timely, because they feel कि अरे भाई कहाँ से उसमें पैसे लगेंगे, उपले बना लो, उपले से काम चल रहा है. I said, okay, you give your cow dung to us, don't make upla, we will be providing 1 cylinder every month. So that's how the system, they are very excited, and that's how the system we are going to start. So my idea is, in the waste management, all the waste which is available in the village, let it convert it wherever it is possible, utilize it. Few others also we are working on the waste of this pigeon pea and maize cob stone. Again, because these two were being used as a fuel. With the Ujjwala coming in, now they are using LPG gas, and this is going to become a big menace. So that also, plus this wastewater. So if we are able to manage this wastewater and the waste, whatever is generated, we will be able to make our villages clean. And this whole water system, then I started thinking that can we make our whole water system a sustainable one without any outside import of the water.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a question from Dr. Peter Chandra.
Wondering that if we can somehow channelize the runoff during rainy season to ponds and lakes, will that
somehow reduce our burden for groundwater recharge?
Problem is there that we have already choked all the ponds and the with in the aquifer. What we are finding here, the aquifer study showed, we have got one unconfined aquifer at the depth of around 5 to 7 meters, and that aquifer is around 5 to 7 meters thick. Then after we have got a thick clay layer of about 20 meters, and then we have got the second aquifer. Mainly that second aquifer is being tapped. So what's happening, although you have got sufficient amount of the water at the even above the surface, there is water logging of 1 to 2 feet depth, but the lower aquifer, second aquifer is not getting water percolated there sufficiently to refill it. So that aquifer is getting depleted year by year, and that's why even a state like Bihar, which is still in much more positive as per you see from the other angle, is facing the water shortage every year, even for the drinking water during the summers.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now, Mr. Rajesh, you're going to put
in earthen pond. Suppose that we have constructed earthen pond for the recharging purpose.
No,
How we can increase the recharging efficiency?
my idea is that if you want to recharge, you have to recharge the second aquifer. And for second aquifer, it has to be artificial recharge because the ponds are not allowing that much water to flow. The flow of water through that clay layer is so slow that even when the ponds are too big, only then you can do. You have to puncture that clay layer and send the water to the second aquifer. And for sending that water, it has to be clean. So to person the pond, normal in the pond condition, when it is normal filtration, the clay layer takes care of all the filtration. But that permeability of clay layer is so much that it is not able to recharge whatever recharge rate we are requiring. Actually, it was doing earlier when our recharge requirement was less. But now our recharge requirement, since we are pumping more, so our recharge requirement has increased. And that much money, that much water is not percolating through that clay layer in its natural course. So you have to puncture that clay layer and send the water directly to that aquifer, second aquifer. Maybe in few cases it may be even the third aquifer.
thank you. Mr. Ramesh,
Yeah.
Ramesh, sorry. Okay.
R stands for Ramesh, so I got confused that you are calling me.
No, sorry. Dr. K.S. Tiwari has a question. Dr. K.S. Tiwari, please.
Yeah. Actually, it's not a question. It's a, Dr. Srivastava, what he was telling, the recharge should be the emphasis, so that we can have the groundwater reserve.
Yeah.
Now, what I am actually putting here is government, upper government, whether UPA government or present government, what we have seen that even DRS, this Mahatma Gandhi Narela scheme, where majority of the work which is done for the earth basically for farming the check dams, for making water bodies, lot of work, crores of rupees are being spent. But nothing has been, so far it is reported how much it has benefited groundwater recharge. So point is this one, that it is being taken up by the different agencies. Can ISA tell that yes, these are the possible places where agriculture engineers should be involved in assessing these places, and we should play our major role. So with that, this is the actually point I want to put here.
No, here what I will like to say, Dr. Tiwari, that the normal pond system, it is, as I was telling earlier also, it is not able to, it is recharging the water, but the problem is the recharge is very slow because of that clay layer, and our demand is too high, and the recharge becomes, so it again becomes a balance sheet. So in the balance, the recharge is still not sufficient to make any significant difference in the availability of water, and that's happening with all these Manrega works. and secondly it is not designed properly so that you get the sufficient water.
Thank you. I will take one question from Anushu or Dave. Can you please ask your question? Anushu or Dave?
I would have loved that what you are telling that is adopted, but till now, as I was telling, that there is no such policy that to make a district or any administrative unit as a water sustainable, water positive or water sustainable from the water side. The only thing, as I said, that every user group is politically very strong and they are mainly interested that we should get this much water from where we are bringing it. Whether you are robbing the Peter and paying the Paul, it's your headache, a headache of the administration. We need water, and even if we waste it, don't ask us why we are wasting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a district irrigation plan. Can these plans can incorporate a suggestion like you are doing for overall water?
I will not use the word software, but a program in Excel by which we could make it an irrigation plan for either block or by a district by using how much water we are pumping, and if we are pumping this much water, by how we can at least recharge like that much water. But unfortunately, they are very no taker of that in the government. Either at society level or some other level with the government, so that the government listen to us. Because it's, to be honest, I will say that's not their mistake. They have been brought up in a particular mold. पानी को बस ऐसे ही मैनेज करना है. पानी इतना वो नहीं है, बस सप्लाई साइड मैनेज करनी है. They are very little interested in how we are doing it in the balancing side, that how much we are recharging, how much we are using.
Thank you. Wastewater recycling is an area which is not.
I have seen that unit. I have seen that unit.
80% of the water can be utilized for irrigation. The wastewater can be utilized for irrigation, and we can grow all the vegetables with that irrigation water without any residual. I think it is one area where I think we need to address more and more. The another observation is that one of the projects, the ICR project or microgrid studied.
Think that if we can just filter it this wastewater and transport it to the nearby areas where we can grow the timber crops with this irrigation, we can generate huge amount of the employment and green the hillocks. As Dr. Mayande was talking, if when you travel from Nagpur to Mumbai, I was traveling from Nagpur to Akola, then I saw that on the both side you have got a hillock just to get out of the Nagpur town limit, and then after you will start seeing. If we get the wastewater transported there, use it by the micro irrigation, you can grow all along the timber crops there, which will green those hillocks. So you will be managing the ecosystem, and with that you will get the employment opportunity, plus what Dr. Mayande was talking, will not allow that water to go to the rivers, which is polluting our whole river system. Yes.
Thank you. I think